Should you tell your child that he or she has autism? Thank you for joining me today with Autism 101 Beyond the Spectrum. My name is Rhonda Spellman. My son has autism. He has a form of autism known as Asperger's syndrome. Most people are afraid of autism. They're afraid of the A word. Should I tell my child? Should I try to pretend that my child doesn't have autism? Most of us have gone through all of those scenarios. I didn't want to believe my child had autism because to me autism was not a positive thing in the beginning. That's before I knew what autism really was. What is autism? Autism is simply a different way of seeing the world. Autism is a different way of focusing on the world. My child right now is 10 years old. He's doing a science fair project titled How to Replace Fossil Fuel with Kelp Fuel. If he didn't have autism, I'm not sure that he would have the ingenuity to think that deeply. Since he does have autism and his brain works so intently, he is liable to change the world. Will he change the world? Perhaps. I believe that it could be with the development of fossil fuel replacement energies. Either way, doing this science fair project is helping him to gain the confidence that he needs to move forward and become a successful person in the world. Just like a runner, a really good runner knows he's different. He knows he's a good runner. If your child was a really good runner, you would do everything you could to help them to be successful. If your child has autism, don't you want to do everything in your power to help them be successful too? My child has an ability to see very deeply. He can see things with brilliance that I wish I had. I'm learning more about fossil fuel than I ever dreamed. Does your child have that ability? Do you know? The only way to know is to sit down with your child, listen to your child, find out what that brilliant ability is. Perhaps it's not anything to do with fossil fuel. Perhaps it's something to do with saving animals. Perhaps it's something to do with developing a new form of art. I recently saw a young man who has an IQ of a very low IQ. However, he has an absolute genius ability when it comes to art. He can see art and then take a photographic image of what he sees. Then he turns around and draws these incredible pictures that melt your heart. Is your child melting your heart? My child melts my heart every chance that he gets. And I hope that your child is able to do that for you too. But the only way that can happen is with that connection. Today, find that connection that your child has with you. Give them that ability to become an expert because your child could be the one that changes the world, just like Albert Einstein. Nobody ever focused on Albert Einstein's inability to remember his own phone number, his difficulty tying his shoe, his inability to talk until he was 7. What do we think about when we think about Albert Einstein? Think about your child today as I'm thinking about mine, because 20 years from now, I want people to know that my child was one that helped to change the world because of his abilities having autism. Thank you for being with me today with Autism 101 Beyond the Spectrum. My name is Rhonda Spellman. Please join me on my website, Autism with Rhonda, and for a very limited time, pick up your buy one, get one free copy of my book, The Journey Home from Autism. Thank you again.